Hi friends, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today we're back with another installment of Cirque's Treasure Trove Holiday Shop. This launch features 3 curated gift sets that have these perfect themes for the upcoming winter holiday season, and as always I will save more of my thoughts for the end. For now, let me just show you the swatches. Before I forget, I wanted to actually show the gift boxes that they have available. They are going to be an extra $2.50 if you did want to add this extra little packaging. I accidentally threw away my other Cirque cartons, but these do fit the 3 Cirque polishes, and it looks like they have 3 colors available. And when I asked for them to send me the 3 boxes, I got 3 of this light blue one, so at least it's wintry. So starting with the Sugar Plum set, the first polish we have is Lavender Sky, and this is a sheer pastel lilac purple. So just as a disclaimer, I'm going to be using the polishes that I already had in my collection, so when you do get this does contain a wide brush. So the application is going to be even better than what you see here, but I didn't really struggle with the application for the jellies because I find that a lot of their jellies and sheers really are so self-leveling. So they look great no matter how many coats you do. You can wear 1 coat for a subtle wash of color. It's really great for balancing out some staining if you happen to have that. But I especially love building this shade up in 2 or 3 coats just to intensify the color a little bit more. I feel like it's just such a beautiful shade, especially for springtime, but I really love this for winter too. It's already one of my top favorite Cirque jellies, but I love how this one pairs with the other 2 polishes in the set. The next shade in the set is Siren, and this one's described as a sheer white pearlescent with a purple shimmer and a dainty hollow sparkle. So if you're familiar with their shade Mystic Moonstone, this is basically the purple version of it. And this one unfortunately doesn't come with a wide brush, so you are going to have a similar experience as I am here, where on the first coat it doesn't look too bad, but I feel like I didn't get great coverage on the second coat, and the third coat did help, but you know, it's still a little streaky, which is expected, I guess, to a degree since this is a pearlescent polish. You want to be careful with your brush strokes as much as possible to get them as straight as you can, but I feel like formula wise this one is on the thinner side where it's almost a little runny, so you just want to be careful with your application in general. I think this one definitely would benefit from having a wide brush, so keep that in mind. But if you are able to have better application with this, I think it could look really pretty. I do love the purple shimmer. It has a subtle shift to pink. And the last polish in this set is Coquette, and this is a multicolored shimmer graphic nail topper with rainbow color shifting aurora shimmer and an intense scattered holographic effect. So I will be showing this as a topper over the previous 2 shades, but I did also want to build this up on its own because I just love how dainty and sparkly this one is. I feel like it totally fits the sugar plum fairy aesthetic especially. This also comes with a wide brush, which is really nice. It makes the application just so smooth and even, and as you can see, this is absolutely packed with those shimmer particles and the holographic scattered glitter. It is just so incredibly sparkly and rainbowy, but there is this like really prominent, more purpley pink kind of shimmer that also shifts to this greenish yellow in extreme lighting. It does look a little subtle here, but I love how dainty and ethereal this looks. And as mentioned, here is 1 coat of Coquette layered over 3 coats of Lavender Sky and 3 coats of Siren. I love how these look. Moving on to the candy cane set, the first polish we have is Carpe Diem, and this one is described as a bright white cream, but as you saw in the bottle, there is a yellow shimmer, but it doesn't show up on the nail. So think about the very subtle silver shimmer in Bikini So Teeny, where you see it in the bottle, but on the nail, it's a straight up cream polish. So unfortunately, this one comes with the skinny brush, but the good news is that the Cirque creams pretty much have really flawless formulas. If anything, mine is a little bit on the thicker side because I've had my bottle for a while and I haven't added thinner to it in a little either, but it still was easy to work with and it self-leveled pretty nicely too, so I got this opaque in 2 coats. Then we have Lucky Jelly, which is a medium true red jelly polish. And the good news is that this one will come with a wide brush. Mine, unfortunately, is skinny, but even still, I got pretty great coverage with this one because, like I mentioned before, Cirque's jellies generally are very easy to work with. They self-level really nicely. Even if you have to dip back into the bottle like I just did, it still just looks like flawless application and coverage. So it was pretty impressive, especially for this shade, which definitely leans more on the true jelly, like glassy look. You can see straight through to your nail line, even if you do 3 coats, which is the point of jellies, but I didn't mention it with Lavender Sky. That one is a little bit more milky, so it obscures your nail line a little bit more than it does with this shade. And the last polish in this set is Sylph, which is described as a sheer white pearl polish. You might remember when this one came out earlier in the year in the Encore collection, and it does come with a wide brush, which thank God, because this being a pearl, you really need to be careful with your application. Pearl polishes are usually very unforgiving, and you just want to have the smoothest, straightest brush strokes that you can. And I feel like having a wide brush just really helps with that. But either way, I know pearl polishes are not going to be for everybody. I'm not really the biggest fan of them myself, but there is something about this shade that I do like, but maybe when it's just in 1 coat. I think when it's built up in 2 or 3 coats, it's just a little too pearly for me. But on 1 coat, there's like this soft, elegant, almost satin kind of feel to it. So I feel like it could look nice. Even on 3 coats though, this one is definitely very sheer, so I did also want to show this layered over Carpe Diem and Lucky Jelly. I feel like this definitely could work as a topper. I love the almost glazed look it has over Lucky Jelly, but you just want to be careful with your application. And since this is the candy cane set, I thought it would be cute to do some candy cane nail art. So I started with 3 coats of Sylph as my base and then used a dotting tool, dipped into Carpe Diem to create this sort of dotted heart outline, and then filling in the spaces with Lucky Jelly so that way it's like these 2 candy canes connecting to make a heart. If doing a heart is too difficult, you can easily just do this little dotted candy cane kind of design like all over your nail. I just absolutely love it. It is so easy and so cute. My heart definitely did not come out perfect or even by any means, but you can still tell it's a little candy cane heart, so I love that. And the last set we have is the first Frost set, and the first polish in that is Morningtide, which is a sheer French blue polish with a milky buildable formula. So the good news is that this one will come with a wide brush. As you can see, mine is the skinny one, and it's kind of one of those wonky skinny ones too, but again, I still didn't really struggle with the application for this one, even with having to dip back into my bottle, because as you probably saw from the fill line, this is one of my most used jellies. It is easily one of my top favorites along with Lavender Sky. And I would say formula-wise, this one is also similar to that shade where, I mean, again, a lot of their jellies are very self-leveling, easy to work with and all of that. But as you can see on 3 coats here, your nail line gets a lot more obscured because it's a little bit more on the milky side. The next shade in the set is Mystic Moonstone, and this one is described as a sheer milky white with a blue shimmer and a delicate holographic sparkle. So as I mentioned before, this one is very similar to Siren, where it has that same kind of white, jelly, pearlescent leaning type of formula with a really vibrant shimmer and that dainty hollow sparkle. This one is definitely one of their best sellers. I don't know how long it's been around, but I feel like it's just one of those Cirque cult favorites, and it is super beautiful. I really do love this shade. It is just so glowy and ethereal, which you guys know I'm a sucker for, and I didn't struggle with the formula as much as I did with Siren for whatever reason, but it definitely still can be a little bit on the finicky side because like Siren, this one had a little bit more of a thinner formula. I guess this one wasn't as pearly as Siren was, but either way, the good news is this one comes with a wide brush. And the last polish in the set is Disco Ball, which is basically Cirque's silver reflective glitter topper. This one unfortunately doesn't come with a wide brush, but I feel like because it's a topper, it's not super difficult to get even coverage. I did struggle a little bit with mine though because it was pretty thick. As you can see, this one is really dense. So while you do get a ton of sparkle from all of the little glitter particles, I don't end up loving this one just because I feel like it looks a little too gritty for me, especially when layered over lighter colors. So of course, here is one coat of Disco Ball over Morningtide and Mystic Moonstone. Obviously, it's going to look incredible with flash, but hopefully you were able to see it without flash that it kind of just looks like a lot of gray specks. So that wraps up my swatches for Cirque's Treasure Trove gift sets. As always, I'd love to know your thoughts on this release because I hate to admit it, but I kind of like them. I mean, as I'm sure you all know, I'm such a sucker for a cute little theme, and having these like curated bundles for the upcoming winter holiday season, I think is so fun. I know that might be like an unpopular opinion, especially because they did a similar thing last year with having these like curated bundles as opposed to launching something new. And I definitely see the criticism there, but I don't know. I'm a fan of it because I personally don't think we always need to see something new. I'm always going to be a fan of like kind of recycling things that you already have, but I can see it being annoying if you were planning on like getting these for yourself, because chances are you might have like some of these shades and then you might not want to get duplicates of them. So to me, this definitely feels like a good option to actually like gift to somebody else in your life, whether it's somebody who loves Cirque or somebody who is like wanting to try Cirque, but you know, they never did before. I feel like these three are well curated, especially for the upcoming season. My personal favorite is the Sugar Plum Set. I just like really like those polishes, maybe with the exception of Siren, but I think that's because I had the skinny brush in mine and it just wasn't the best application. But I loved how Coquette looked over that one, and just like pairing those purples together. I really love purple, especially like a lavender kind of shade for winter. But the other two sets are definitely really solid too. I think maybe the First Frost one is like second for me, and then followed by the Candy Cane one. But I do think the Candy Cane is strongest when it comes to like potential for nail art. But I guess it depends on how creative you are, because you technically could do nail art with like all three of them. So generally, I feel like you can't go wrong with any set that you choose. My only complaint again is that they don't all come with the wide brushes. I really wish that they had prioritized swapping out the skinny brushes in these polishes that are going to be sold as sets. And then when it comes to the little gift boxes, I again, unfortunately, am kind of a fan of them. I'm just somebody who loves like package design and like a cute little box. I end up keeping them, even though I know a lot of people are on the other side of the fence where they're like, it's just extra garbage, which I totally understand. Like, they're definitely not necessary by any means, but if you are planning on gifting these to somebody who, you know, loves cute little details like that, I think it's definitely a fun one to include. I personally am a fan of a cute little box, so unfortunately that appeals to me. So yeah, generally I do like these, and I think it's maybe because I'm kind of comparing them to the sets that were offered last year, which, if you remember, they included some curated sets alongside their Advent box, which it seems like they're not doing this year. So the sets from last year were cool in theory, because again, like, I'm a fan of, you know, creating these little bundles, but they didn't feel super wintry, I guess. Like, some of them did, others didn't. So I feel like these definitely work a lot better, especially for gifting purposes. So I kind of like them for that reason. So if you like them too and you're planning on picking these up, as a reminder, I am an affiliate with Cirque, and you can shop them through my link in my description box if you want to support me and my channel. As always, a big thank you if you do support me through that. But even if you don't plan on picking these up, I do hope that you like the video and make sure to leave me a comment with any and all thoughts that you have so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!